It's 11 minutes into the hour 12, and this is Bena Midday News coming to you live from Benab House, Atomic Junction, Medina. My name is Sherifat Wayuba. Coming up in today's bulletin. The AMS has started demolition of unauthorized structures behind the Awudome Cemetery as part of renewed enforcement efforts against encroachment in public land. And in other stories, the Bank of Ghana is making headlines after an adjustment in the composition of the country's international reserves. On international front, reports indicated that Burkina Faso's military government dissolved all political parties on Thursday. There's and many more stories coming up shortly. Thank you for staying with us. Remember, this news is streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube at Bena TV. Now, the news in details. The Accra Metropolitan Assembly has demolished two unauthorized structures used as an auto mechanic workshop behind Awudome Cemetery near the Snit Pension House as part of renewed enforcement efforts against encroachment on public land.
The demolition carried out on Monday by an AMA task force followed earlier directives from the Assembly under Mayor Michael Kpakpo Alute ordering occupants to vacate government-reserved land. Warning signs had been clearly displayed on a wall at the site but were ignored. The exercise also saw the confiscated of weighing scale belonging to scrap dealers who had converted a plot in front of a Catholic church near the Awudome runabout into a scrap collection center. Additionally, officials halted renovation works on shops after the owners failed to produce the required permit. Addressing the media, AMA Coordinating Director Douglas N.K. Anofo said the Assembly is determined to protect public lands and enforce city regulations. Mr. Douglas urged individuals who have constructed or are developing structures in unauthorized location to remove them immediately to avoid punitive action. He also reminded traders and roadside operators of the upcoming decongestion exercise, warning them to stay off the streets from February 1, 2026 as the AMA and partner assemblies clear unauthorized activities from major roads and public spaces across the capital.
Moving on, Director General of the Criminal Investigations Department of the Ghana Police Service, COP Lydia Yako Donko, has urged the public to take personal security seriously and remain vigilant against crime, particularly cyber and online-related offenses. She cautioned the public against sharing personal or financial information with unknown persons, urging them to be wary of unsolicited messages or calls requesting sensitive details.
COP Donko advised on Thursday, January 29, 2026 at a news briefing on the arrest of two robbery gang members in separate police operations. She disclosed that 7 suspected robbers who allegedly attacked travelers, including a member of the Council of State in the Northern region, as well as 5 others involved in a robbery at Nkassim in the Ahafo region, were currently assisting the police with investigations. The CID Director General said the successes recorded by the Ghana Police Service were the results of sustained intelligence-led operation aimed at combating robbery and other violent crimes across the country. She noted that the intensified operations formed part of a broader national strategy to protect lives, secure property, and maintain public safety. COP Donko also advised motorists and persons involved in vehicle sales to remain alert at all times, especially when driving at night or in isolated areas. She said they should ensure their vehicles were properly secured, avoiding picking up unknown persons, and exercise caution when responding to distress signals that might be staged. She encouraged members of the public to stay alert in crowded places, inform trusted persons of their whereabouts, and promptly report any suspicious activities to the nearest police station. COP Donko commended police officers nationwide for their dedication and professionalism in protecting lives and property. She also expressed appreciation to media houses for their continued support in disseminating police messages to the public.
Service has announced plans to begin a nationwide rollout of the typhoid fever vaccine in the coming weeks, with food handlers as the primary target group. The initiative aims to reduce the spread of typhoid fever, a disease that possesses serious threats to public health, food safety, and productivity, particularly in communities with poor sanitation.
Speaking at a follow-up stakeholder engagement meeting on Thursday, 30th January 2026, the Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Samuel Kaba Akorie, outlined the rollout plans and assured stakeholders of the vaccine safety credentials. Director of Public Affairs at the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Franklin Aseidubekwe, clarified that while the vaccine will not be free, it will be subsidized to ensure affordability. He emphasized that once the rollout begins, food handlers will require to present proof of vaccination before being permitted to operate. The move marks a shift from reactive screening and treatment proactive prevention through vaccination in Ghana's fight against typhoid fever.
Now, away from that, the Zongo Institute for Development has issued a strong condemnation following recent events surrounding the vetting of Haji Amin Adam, aspirant for the Ayarasu East by-election. In a press statement on Thursday, the institute described this act as not only a breach of protocol but also a profound violation of her dignity and a disregard for Islamic values and cultural respect. According to ZID, the incident involved the sharing of a photograph of Hajia Amina Adam on social media, exposing her in a manner that was deemed disrespectful and unprofessional. The release emphasized that the image was taken and shared without her consent, despite her circumstances as a widow and her current state of mourning. It also criticized the security and administrative system for failing to prevent such misconduct, calling for immediate action. In response, ZID has called on the leadership of the NDC to take decisive steps, including investigating and sanctioning those responsible, ensuring fair supervision of the upcoming primaries, and reaffirming a commitment to protecting candidates' dignity. On this note, we take a quick turn. We'll be back with business and more.
gandir ga bolsai za bolsai ha ngati alada ngati wokir na gar kagar na gar ngi kagaiga dirma na ka bolsai irma kai ka hehe ka jar ka kato nunkan aga hima kato wodin do mace bakan irma na lahidu timmandi inna ka bakar harara warbato kan irna gwarandi kan she igane hinin dawa ngati charadiyan hinin dawa ngati basa tare hora lasal tare irfillawai fakare da salmahari kan ine haga bai za zaman tawilan bato dara adina fahamyanu
ya ayyuhan nabiyyu lima tuharrimu ma halallahu lak
irko tabaraka ta'ala kani ayara walillahi ala an-nasi hajjul baiti liman istata'a ilayhi sabila borkan wanda hinayni ne
bon koy ne ndangi koy rajuwale no shanno politiko shanno
iridi haya kan dumai jare wato kolli huri politikora takakanda i form i barmai i hungi taka jenwega iridi kan iri ine hatare hinna gino ka cindi iga kadi
irgar haye sanda irmane alada wai
songe tereno borna ibayda turewe ngai alada hayira
shugulawai kango irhugay gundaira hijawai misawai
iga lefe baji beri futi lefe baji beri fi ganati irganata
lefe baji ngati afo
irganata
valizo waya ga fas fa mashi valizo ya follow
baji beri foro ka hay kusikan sura
akuna ba berandiyan
ayo
aman nan kaka dukurin da sai ta nan di zafarta
hija ayo
izo daga kaka warakarta ka dinda
ashi hanga jar
bar kushe za goyo kan naka kada mana ladab goyenka babu mana ladab goyenka te ka koy nyamodo
ka dabari ayo irmate dabari
hininda wal hadi kur subahi guru yaha ka koy guru wacin difo Baina TV DJ Ganda Baina TV Baina TV connected to your world.
May I have your attention for the following announcement. Millennium Telesat Services Limited is seeking the public's assistance in locating a missing amplifier that was lost between Achimota and Osino Junction. The amplifier is white in color and housed in a black box. It is believed to have fallen off the track in the aforementioned area. If you have any information or have come across the amplifier, please contact us on 0243 144 124 or 0243 254 074. Alternatively, you can return it to the nearest police station for a handsome reward for its safe return. Thank you for your help and cooperation.
You're welcome back. If you just tuned in, you're watching Baina Midday News on Baina TV. Now let's move on to some business story where the Bank of Ghana is making headlines after an adjustment in the composition of the country's international reserves, specifically through the liquidation of a portion of its gold holdings. The gold holdings dropped from 37.1 ton to 18.6 tons between September and December 2025, about a 50% decline as a result.
For many observers, this raises questions about stability of the economy. However, the decision by the central bank was a deliberate rebalancing exercise to modernize the portfolio and reducing risk. In giving the background, Ghana held 30.53 tons of gold at the end of December 2024. Ghana. In 2025, the bank purchased an additional 10.32 tons. However, to reach the strategic target of reducing gold's share of GIR to 20%, the bank divested approximately 22.24 tons on the international market. This scale of rebalancing brought the total gold holding from a peak of 38 tons in October 2025 to 18.61 tons by the end of the year. The bank maintains that this is strategic diversification, not a crisis response. The bank converted part of its gold portfolio into foreign exchange assets. It is important to note that this was not the write-down or a loss of national assets. Rather, the gold was sold on the international market to reduce other liquid assets. This process is known as a reallocation, meaning the value remains within Ghana's international reserves and is being actively reinvested into other instruments. Simply a reallocation within reserves, not a drawdown of reserves.
And in some news beyond our borders, Burkina Faso's military government dissolved all political parties on Thursday whose activities had been suspended since the military rule seized power in 2022. Captain Ibrahim Traore took over in September 2022 coup after toppling another junta and has since sharply muzzled dissenting voices.
Parties were previously banned from holding public gatherings, but still allowed to operate internally. A draft law dissolving political parties will now be sent to the Traditional Legislative Assembly as soon as possible, said Territorial Administration Minister Emily Zebu. The assets of the dissolved parties will be transferred to the states, he added. The decision, he continued, aims to preserve national unity, strengthen the coherence of government action, and pave the way for reforming political government. 100 political parties, 15 of which have representatives in the parliament. Traore's 2022 coup ousted Paul Henry Sandaogo Damiba, who had taken power only 9 months earlier. After going into exile in Togo, Damiba was regularly accused by Burkina Faso's military rulers of planning coup plots and assassination attempts, the latest earlier this month. Togo extradited him this month back to Burkina Faso.
Now moving on to sports, Ral Lalouvière has confirmed the time and spending much of the campaign on the fringes of the first team at Lotto Park. His move to Ral Lalouvière presents an opportunity for him to reset and gain consistent minutes at the AC Arena. Well, that's all time will permit us for today. Log on to our website, benamultimedia.com, for more news. My name is Sherifat Wayuba. Have a good afternoon.